One more glance all the way down. One glance all the way down. All the way down. Whoa, oh. Hold it. Just looking right here. Hold that. Beautiful smile. Thank you, love.
One for me.
Look back right here. Sorry, 1 second. Right in front, together. And guys, together right here. And don't forget Elizabeth.
Please don't forget the right. Thank you.
And both you guys.
And wave to Lionsgate. Guys, can you see
Now
eyes?
she smiles.
Eyes, right here.
When you say Lionsgate,
Here, please. Eyes over here.
Hey guys, on your forehead, please. Right here. Good smiles. All right, guys, straight ahead here. Guys, you quick for us.
Okay, don't smile that much.
Guys, right in front.
We'll do the 5.
Thank you, Froy.
And Troy, can we turn you? Troy, hold on. Froy, sorry. Froy. No. Okay, looking right here, young man. Stay with me, almost. Hey, Pippa, looking straight. All right, one more time.
Maggie, over the right shoulder, Maggie.
Hold that right there.
Over that right shoulder, Maggie.
Last one. Pippa, one more time.
Okay, so hold it a little bit lower. Twist it so I can see the blade. Right there, perfect. All right, here we go. 1, 2.
Look straight ahead, Jake, right here in this camera. Hold that right there, young man. Almost done. Last one. Rock and roll star. When did you become an influencer, young man?
Gene, to your left, Gene.
Gene, over here, Gene.
Thank you.
Gene, over here, Gene.
And Gene, just wait there.
Yeah. Let's go.
Now is the time for the tongue, Gene.
Let's do it, Mr. Simmons.
It's finally come to this.
Get ahead. Hold that. Almost done.
Like he has to go that way.
You need it.
Life is good on you.
Tyrese, let's get the praying hands right here, Tyrese.
No, he's looking right ahead, straight ahead. Hold that right there.
That's noble.
Hold that right. You rock, man. Thank you.
Oh, man. Thank you, man. I'm down 45 pounds.
Give it to him, too.
And Brooke, eyes right here.
Just a glance to your right.
Brooke, eyes over here, please.
Glance to your right all the way down. There you go. Hold that. Looking right here, please. Right on your right all the way down.
It's on.
Waking up.
Oh, there we go. Hold that.
Another this way, please.
We probably shouldn't have hit each other.
Ready, 1, 2, and. Awesome.
Blended.
And straight ahead right here. Hold that. Chin down just a little left. Hold that. Last one. And then looking straight ahead. Hold that. Last one. Chin down just a little left. There we go. Beautiful. Nice. Looking straight ahead right here. Hold that.
What's your puppy's name?
And eyes right here.
Smells good.
Mark, would you look this way? Thank you. Hi.
Right down the middle. Hold that right there. Good smile.
Maggie, eyes over here.
Thank you. One more time, looking straight ahead. Hold that. One more glance. Give me a little wave in there. There it is. Excellent.
Well, you know, been a big fan of horror movies and The Strangers, and we thought, well, what if we took this concept from the Brian Bertina movie and said, what if we split it into 3 movies that take place one after the other, not years later, but minutes later. And it was like, I think we can come up with something great, and here we are for number 2. What makes it different is the first one was kind of, we look at this as kind of one giant movie. So the first one was the kickoff, setting up what's happening in this world and for Maya and Ryan. And then the second one is we take it out into the town, and she's still being terrorized, and how can she get away? And number 3 will be another chapter after that. It's a great cast, and led by Maya, our Mads. Madelaine Petsch, and it really rests on her shoulders, these movies. But we have a great cast with Gabriel Basso and a bunch of other people who are playing various townspeople, and I think it worked well because we wanted to develop these characters over 3 movies. He's great. He can get the action, he can get the drama, he can get the scares, which is important, and also the character work. So it's really we were thrilled when he signed on originally, taking on, because he took this. He had this script that we gave him that was 115 pages and said, now take it times 3, you're going to read 500 pages. He said, I got it, I read it in one sitting, and I know what to do with it, which was great. I think, it's a thrill ride, and, we need some escapism in these times, and it's good to get into the theater and enjoy with a bunch of other people a scary thrill ride for number 2.
To be honest with you, it's a huge franchise that I think people have liked for a really long time, just because it is so personal to people. I think that scare factor of someone being in your house that you don't know is something that everyone lives with day to day. And so making a huge franchise off of that, I think, is the smartest idea ever. And it never gets not scary. No. I love the fact that, especially with the second movie, you're really going to see that things take some twists and turns off of the original, and my character definitely helps along the way and really carries the story through, and kind of, I think, adds the element of mystery of trying to figure out, who these people are and what they really want, what their intentions are, I think in general, Madelaine is fantastic for the lead, kind of carrying us all the way through all 3 films. I think she's done a fantastic job about keeping the mystery alive and the discovery, and even when we were filming it, we filmed it for 3 months, so long back, but she did such a great job of keeping the through line, and I think they really hired actors that were going to take on these roles and give it a new life, and I think that's what fans are really looking for. So.
Well, it was Brian Bertino's original 2008 Strangers. I'm a big fan of that film. It was groundbreaking at the time. We had seen stuff that we never saw before, and it was shocking to us, and left us really with a scared feeling inside and an uneasy feeling inside. And then, so that's what drew me to it in the first place. And as time went on and rights sort of move around, a friend of mine and a business partner came to me and said, hey, we just got the Strangers rights, and you got to do it. And I was like, ooh, well, I kind of like that, but that's kind of daunting because that's a real fan favorite. But hey, I'm game, so let's do it. It was a living hell. Okay, really? Do you know how hard it is to shoot one film? 3 of them at the same time. A lot to remember every single day, flipping back and forth every single day. But it was really rewarding. And I'll tell you what's great about doing 3 films at once. There's 2 different things. One is, anytime you go to do a new film, everybody walks in day one and they're like gung-ho. They're like, oh, I'm so excited. By the last day, everybody's like, if I never see you again, it'll be too soon. But there's that whole process in between, right? But when you go and do sequels a year and a half later, then another year and a half later, it's almost 5 years. So we got the enthusiasm of 1 movie in 3 movies, and that was the biggest advantage of doing this by far, and the audience will feel it. Madelaine, starting number 1, was Maya from the second we met. Not only is she my dear friend and collaborator and everything, but she is so talented and where she took us, and because we also deal with, like, in a realistic way, the emotional effect of what's happened to her and what she's going through. And I mean, she brings you right in and became like an ultimate amazing final girl. I mean, Gabe Basso, or Gabriel as people call him, Ema Horvath, I mean, they were fantastic, supporting. Froy Gutierrez, great in the first movie, and then all the other people just sort of fit perfectly in this little small town, weird, lynchy type of universe we were creating. So they were all great, and everybody, as I said, because it was like one big movie, was gung-ho. And so that really translated.
And then lastly,
it is a lot darker. It's more disturbing. It's completely fresh and takes us to a new place in the Strangers universe that you haven't seen, because our 3 movies is really like an alt Strangers universe from the original 2 movies. And I think that you get an insight into the Strangers now without us ruining what makes them scary, I'll say that flat out, or anything like that, that you actually find compelling and want to know more. And something else really interesting results from that, which I'm not going to ruin from you. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, have you seen the first one? It's wonderful. Like, one of the creepiest horror films ever made, and so simple and compelling. Yeah, it's very easy to say yes to something like this. I will say that she's a dependable girl. You can always count on Shelly to know the waitress schedule, which foods we ran out of, who has a dairy allergy. I think Madelaine in particular, there's so much intensity behind her eyes, and especially in this movie, she starts fighting back. She's not an easy victim, and I think that's what makes her really interesting to watch in the second installment. He's very relaxed, which I think when we were trying to get everything in 10 weeks, that can sometimes creep into set and creep into performance, and I never feel stressed when you're on a Renny Harlin set. You feel like you have all the time in the world. It's more cat and mouse this time. One is kind of an ambush, I feel like, and a real struggle, and this one is more, there's more push and pull between victim and pursuers. Something fresh, I mean, I think anyone who's a fan of the first film and this, the second one that was made, will be excited to see, another addition to the canon, because this is where we really veer away from the standard home invasion.
I still haven't actually seen the movie yet, so I don't know. I'm going in a little bit blind, but I did read the script, and I just think just this harrowing journey. That's almost a maze. The setting really becomes a prominent character. I mean, Madelaine is brilliant. She's an incredible scream queen, an incredible talent. Not only that, but she was a producer on all 3 films, and so she was helping us make sure we made our days and helping us with the marketing and just really pushing everything out there. So I really respect her a lot, and she's a great leader. Oh my gosh. I mean, why wouldn't he be the perfect director? He's an action legend, and he knows exactly how to maintain that tension, and he knows how to construct a really interesting shot. In Strangers Chapter 1, the floorboard scene where it was starting from the crawl space and going up into the house, that was a whole set that they built, and yeah, he's just excellent. I love him.
And I know you said you had scratch chapter 2.
I think this one is really thrilling. I think there's a lot. If I'm remembering everything correctly, I'm pretty sure it's really intense and kind of unexpected. A lot of stuff that you wouldn't really anticipate. I mean, listen, that's the magic of cinema, is that we get to kind of share in it together, and especially with horror, where it's you don't know how the audience is going to react. If they laugh at a part that makes them uncomfortable, if everybody screams at the same time, and just to have that kind of community feel is really important.
The fact that I heard Renny Harlin's going to be involved with it, and he's going to take it in this direction, that he's expanding this world, but just in a different way, exploring not only the whys or just why not, but also just deeper into the universe and maybe even getting a glimpse underneath the masks. That's what was interesting. Well, so, okay, I cannot give too much away because my character is sort of a thread inside the franchise. You're gonna see him hop up at some point. I don't want to say anything else. I can't give it away, guys. Just watch it. Watch this one, watch the third one. Once you see the whole thing, you have to see all three. And then you'll kind of go, oh, and that's all I can say. Oh, that's all. Chapter 1 was all about why not? Why are people doing this? Why not? There doesn't have to be a reason. Chapter 2 is exploring maybe, again, what a little crack in the mask of the doll face and all the other characters, and perhaps looking into this whole town, this whole world, where were the seeds of that? So we're actually looking under the sort of carpet, under the mask, under all the creepy little things, the creepy floorboards a little bit. So it's peeking behind that. You should go check out Chapter 2 because if you love the first one, if you love where it's going, Chapter 2 is going to throw you in a completely different direction. It's like a roller coaster. You have to go through the whole ride to experience it and see if you come out the other end.
Yeah, so at the beginning of Chapter 2, you're picking up right where Chapter 1 left off. Maya has just gone through an emotional loss of her boyfriend, has just been stabbed in the stomach, and is dealing with an overwhelm of feelings and emotions. And very quickly, you start seeing her rise to the challenge of becoming a survivalist and having to choose between her humanity and what makes her herself in survival. And you kind of get to watch that in real time in movie 2 to get to where we need to get to for movie 3. I had 2 weeks before we started shooting, so I didn't have any practice. I just had to jump in. But honestly, I think maybe that was preferred. Shooting 3 films at once, honestly, because I was on a TV show for so long, it was like boot camp for things like this, so I'm very thankful that I got to do Riverdale. It was like, Charles always said that was like his Juilliard, and I really feel that. And it was nice shooting 3 films at once because that meant that there was enough stake and excitement and want for the franchise to continue. It's really unusual for an actor to know they're going to get 3 films in one go. So I'm thankful because I keep having releases every year. It's great. I got so extremely lucky with this cast. I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, the people who embody Scarecrow, Pinup, and Dollface are so unique, and they brought their own personality to it. Especially with that mask on, I can't even imagine how difficult that must have been. They were so dedicated and so in character. They kept the tension even between scenes and between takes. Froy's brilliant. I got so lucky with Froy. I couldn't be more blessed. Chapter 2 is a stranger's film you have absolutely never seen in your entire life. It is my lone survivor film, and it's different because you've just never seen it. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a stranger's film you've never, ever, ever seen, and I can promise you that.
And it is.
Well, I'm a really big spooky season fan. Even if I wasn't in this movie, I would be first person in the theater for this film. It's scary, it's fun, it still feels like a popcorn film, but it's really, really terrifying. It's a really scary movie, and you're really immersed in the world. We spent so much time on sound design. It's going to scare you in all aspects, visually, audio, physically. So that's probably why I would say they should go.
I mean, I was very honored to be reading first because I was like, this is this movie that I've watched, back in 2008, and I was like, this is a cult movie. So that drew me, and then I read the scripts. It was great, and I was very excited to be a part of it, honestly. Yeah. Madelaine carries the movie, obviously, it's incredible. Then the whole strangers do their thing very well as well. So, it's just, I'm not gonna lie, you have moments that are challenging when you're filming at night, long nights. You're in Slovakia, in the middle of nowhere, but it's a great time. And when you love doing movies, that's incredible. And especially having a director like this guy makes it even better. So, I mean, not only is he a horror specialist and big budget movie specialist, I mean, you name it, Die Hard 2, Cliffhanger, Nightmare on Elm Street 4. And he's just so nice to work with in the sense of he doesn't come at you with you have to do this way. You come in with your idea. He might buy it, he might not, he might want to change something, and that's just a pleasure, That there's so much more to the story than the original one. I mean, obviously the original movie is great. I think the first chapter did a very good job of transmitting that idea. but it went on to so much. And, you know, I think something that could interest audiences would be like, where did the strangers come from? Why do they do what they do? You know, I think that's something that I would, as an audience member, look forward to.
Oh my, well, you know, I have never been really drawn to horror movies, but I do remember the original, and it was absolutely terrifying, and it just kind of stays with you. And so I had been working with Courtney Salmon and Mark Canton for a couple years, and so when it came to us as the rights reverted back to one of our partners, and it was just such a cool experience to be like, okay, we can try and do this again, but it was so perfect the first time, we can't touch it. So it was really about reimagining it, and that I think has been the most fulfilling and fun, and really, you know, all brains on deck to see like how can we take it out of the box and make it even more visceral, even more real. And I think we achieved it.
Yeah, turn it into
Ooh, chapter 2 is definitely a jumping off point from movie 1, but you really get into Maya's psyche. And so for me, it's a horror movie, but it's a psychological thriller as well. And I love psychological thrillers. And to just see kind of her survival instincts kick in, and you don't know what she's going to do. So I think we really take the audience through that journey. Sometimes it's just they're it or they're not, and you can't really pinpoint it. It's a feeling. It's also how talented they are. You know, I don't want to speak too much on Gabe and Emma, but I do think they were perfect for those roles. And Maya, I mean, Madelaine, she just blew us out of the park from the get-go, and so determined and resilient. All the characteristics that we wanted in our lead character, and above and beyond. I mean, he's perfect because he has all of that action, thriller, pacing that is crucial for these movies. And so really with the creative and Renny's experience directing, it's really like the yin and the yang. And I think like it was just a perfect marriage of everybody's strengths to really make this trilogy the best that it can be. A lot of scares, a lot of screams, a lot of unexpectedness, because this is uncharted territory. This is not a reimagining. This is purely creative, what we wanted to do, and take it there. And so they don't know what to expect, and I think that's the most exciting.
I love the original film, and the opportunity to not do a remake, but do a 3-movie series, a 4.5-hour-long story that explores these characters much further and deeper than in what you can do in a normal movie. It was just an opportunity that I couldn't pass by. That was an insane process, because we were shooting second episode in the morning, and first episode in the afternoon, and third episode next day. So everybody had to keep a real close track on where we are, what's going on emotionally with the characters, how are we shooting this, how much is there blood on the actors, what are they wearing. So it was super, super challenging, but also a great opportunity to just dive really deep into these characters.
What a fantastic.
Well, we looked long and hard for our final girl, and Mads just embodies this kind of an ordinary girl in an extraordinary situation. And it took somebody with real mental and physical strength to be able to handle this shoot. And then when it comes to other actors in the cast, I can't really talk about them much because anybody could be a stranger. The first was a home invasion movie, and I call this a town invasion movie. So the canvas is much, much more epic, larger, and the thrills and the scares and the action is just on a whole different level, and it's very, very surprising. I think that in order to understand the Strangers universe, you have to see all 3 movies, and the second is a very good stepping stone on the way to the third. But you have to see this movie, because we take you to places where you never thought you would go.
I think horror is having such a moment right now, and it's so exciting. And so the Strangers franchise has such a wonderful following, so I'm very grateful to be part of it. I think it's so funny because the cast is so kind and so lovely, and so you would never expect them to have this sort of element of like fear that they can elicit. And so I think that's really great about this cast, is that you can kind of see them switch very quickly. He is an artist. He like truly, it felt like he said we're like doing a dance whenever we're doing a take, and I really agree with that. To be scared. I think that's why people love horror, is that fear is universal, and I think you're gonna get that here.